American English File 3, pages 13 and 115, 3rd edition. D. Read the article again and complete it with reasons. A. They grew up between older and younger brothers and sisters. B. It's easier for them to break the rules. By the time they were born, their parents were more relaxed about discipline. C. Their parents were more relaxed themselves by the time the second child arrived. D. They are given everything they ask for. E. They have always been the baby of the family. F. They spend a lot of time with adults. G. They've never had to deal with problems with other brothers and sisters. H. When the second child was born, they lost some of their parents' attention, and maybe they felt rejected. Answers about how birth order influences your personality. 1H, 2C, 3A, 4B, 5E, 6F, 7D, 8G. E. Reread the paragraph that applies to you. Do you think the description of personality is true for you? Or any of the other descriptions true for people you know, e.g., your brothers and sisters, or friends? Asterisk. 7. Listening and speaking. A asterisk. You're going to hear two people talking about a time when they or one of their siblings behaved badly. Look at some words from each story. With a partner, try to predict what happened. Dan's story asterisk. Brother teenagers fighting stabbed finger pen accident horrified mom angry hospital. Marilyn's story asterisk. Sister parrot let out fly bedroom looked everywhere cried window hidden cupboard frightened horrible. B. 1.25 Listen to the stories.
1.25
Well, I can remember one terrible thing I did to my brother when we were teenagers. I have a twin brother. So we used to fight and argue a lot as kids and teenagers. And one time when we were about 15, we were fighting, arguing. We shared a bedroom, so we were in our room, fighting each other. And I accidentally stabbed him in the hand with a pen that I was holding in my hand. And it was a total accident, and I was holding it, and I was kind of threatening him, but I didn't really mean to stab him, obviously, but I did. And I was absolutely horrified at what I'd done. And of course, my brother, he looked down at his hand with this blood coming out from where I'd stabbed him, and he looked up at me and he said, "I'm going to tell Mom," which sort of made me laugh because, we were both 15 at the time, and it was a very childish thing to say. And he ran downstairs to tell our mom, and I was absolutely terrified that she was going to be really angry with me, which she was, of course. But, he was fine. By the way, it was a very small wound. He didn't have to go to the hospital or anything. It was absolutely fine. But, he still... Now, this is, we're in our late 40s now, so this is 30 years ago, but he still sometimes tells people, when we meet them, about when I stabbed him. But yeah, it wasn't a very nice thing to do to him.
Well, my sister was 4 years older than me. She still is, actually. I remember once when I was about 10 years old, I had a pet, a bird. It was a small green parrot named Charlie, and I really loved him. He lived in a cage, but I sometimes let him out to fly around the house, so he could have some freedom. And one day, I was in my bedroom, and I let him out, but then something happened. I can't remember what, and I forgot about him for a while. And then suddenly I couldn't see him anymore. And well, I looked everywhere for him. I looked all over the house, and I couldn't find him anywhere. Oh, I cried, and I cried, because I was sure that he had flown out of the window. And my parents started to help me because they felt awful about it as well. And just when I was completely hysterical, my sister admitted that, in reality, she had hidden him. She had shut him inside a cupboard. Can you believe that? Well, she opened the cupboard, and poor Charlie was there. He was so frightened. But we were all really relieved to find him. My sister was so horrible that day. Of course, now we get along really well, but I still remember what she did to poor Charlie. And sometimes when she comes to see me, I hide her car keys or her purse or something just to remind her of it. Is that bad?
C. Listen again and answer the questions for Dan and Marilyn. Who do you think behaved worse, Dan or Marilyn's sister? 1. How old were they? 2. Where were they? 3. What bad thing did they or their sibling do? 4. What happened in the end? 5. How do Dan's brother and Marilyn show that they've never forgotten what happened?
Dan 1:15. 2. In their bedroom. 3. Dan accidentally stabbed his brother in the hand with a pen. 4. The mother was very angry with Dan, but it was a very small wound. 5. Dan's brother still tells other people about when Dan stabbed Hi.
Answers Marilyn. 110. 2. She was in her bedroom. 3. Her sister hid her parrot in a cupboard. Marilyn and her parents looked for it everywhere and she was very upset. 4. Her sister showed them where the parrot was, in the cupboard. 5. Marilyn sometimes hides her sister's things to remind her of the parrot. C. Listen again and answer the questions for Dan and Marilyn. Who do you think behaved worse, Dan or Marilyn's sister? 1. How old were they? 2. Where were they? 3. What bad thing did they or their sibling do? 4. What happened in the end? 5. How do Dan's brother and Marilyn show that they've never forgotten what happened?
Dan 1:15. 2. In their bedroom. 3. Dan accidentally stabbed his brother in the hand with a pen. 4. The mother was very angry with Dan, but it was a very small wound. 5. Dan's brother still tells other people about when Dan stabbed Hi.
Answers Marilyn. 110. 2. She was in her bedroom. 3. Her sister hid her parrot in a cupboard. Marilyn and her parents looked for it everywhere and she was very upset. 4. Her sister showed them where the parrot was, in the cupboard. 5. Marilyn sometimes hides her sister's things to remind her of the parrot incident. D** work in pairs. A. You are Dan's brother. B. You are Marilyn's sister. Retell the two stories from your point of view. I have a twin brother named Dan, and we used to fight a lot when we were teenagers. One day. E** Can you remember a time when you were young and you behaved very badly toward a sibling or a friend, or they did to you? Tell the story, answering the questions in C. 8. Writing. A** read Alice's self-portrait poem. Then write your own poem using the instructions below. Alice. Affectionate, honest, imaginative, moody offers daughter of Richard and Billy likes music, dial fates, and sunny days afraid of elevators and other small spaces would like to see elephants in the wild. Williams. Instructions * line 1 your first name line 2 4 adjectives that describe you line 3 where you are in your family, and your parents' names line 4 3 things you like line 5 something you are afraid of line 6 something you would like to do line 7 your last name. Finish page 13. Open page 115 Writing. Page 132. Writing 1 A description of a person. Read the two emails once and answer the questions. 1. Why has Angela written to Sophia? 2. Does Sophia recommend her friend to Angela? From Angela Vernon. 2. Sophia Lugo. Hi Sophia, I hope you're well. I'm looking for an au pair to look after Austin and Melissa, and I remembered your Peruvian friend Marisol, who I met last summer. She said she might be interested in working in the US as an au pair, so I thought I would write and ask her. The thing is, I don't really know her, so before I write and suggest it, could you tell me a little about her, age, personality, etc., and what she likes doing, so that I can see if she would fit in with the family? Please be honest. Angela. From Sophia Lugo. 2. Angela Vernon. Hi Angela, Marisol is one of my best friends, so of course I know her very well. She's 22, and she just graduated from college with a degree in economics, but she doesn't have a job yet, and I'm sure she would be interested in going to the US. Her parents are both doctors, and she has 2 younger brothers. She gets along very well with all of them, and they are a very close family. Marisol's an intelligent woman and very hardworking. She's good with children, she often takes care of her brothers, so she has a lot of experience, and she's also very mature and responsible. She can be really shy at first, but when she gets to know you she's incredibly friendly. The only problem with Marisol is that she's a little forgetful, she sometimes loses things, like her keys, or her phone. Also, to be honest, her English isn't fantastic, but I'm sure she'll improve very quickly. In her free time, she likes going to the movies, listening to music, and she's also very good at photography. She always has her camera with her. She's really independent and happy to do things on her own, so you won't have to worry about taking her to places. I think Austin and Melissa will love her. Let me know if you need more information. Sophia. Answers B. Spelling mistakes. Interested, responsible, forgetful, photography, independent. C. Read Sophia's email again and answer the questions. 1. What 6 adjectives describe Marisol's personality? 2. What does she like doing in her free time? 3. What negative things does Sophia say about Marisol? 4. Does Sophia think Marisol will get along with Angela's family? Answers C. 1. Intelligent, hardworking, mature, responsible, friendly, independent. 2. She likes going to the movies, listening to music, and taking photos. 3. She's really shy, a little forgetful, and her English isn't very good. 4. Yes, she does. D. Look at the highlighted expressions we use to modify adjectives and adverbs. Put them in the correct place in the chart. Marisol is very forgetful. Answers D. Incredibly, really. Kasha is very forgetful. A little. Describing a person. He's quite, very, etc. Plus adjective, e.g., friendly, outgoing, etc. She's a little plus negative adjective, e.g., messy, shy, etc. He likes, loves, doesn't mind plus verb plus ing. She's happy to plus base form. He's good at with children. He's good at making new friends. Imagine you received Angela's email asking about a friend of yours. Write an email to answer it. Plan what you're going to write using the paragraph notes below. Use the language from the Describing a Person box and Vocabulary Bank Personality P13 to help you. Paragraph 1. Age, work, study, family background. Paragraph 2. Personality, good side, any negative things. Paragraph 3. More information, e.g., hobbies and interests. Paragraph 4. Your recommendation. F. Check your email for mistakes, grammar, vocabulary, punctuation, spelling. Finish pages 13 and 115. Finish lesson 1B. Open page 14. 1. Practical English.